Hello guys, Zueljin here, and welcome back to another episode of Life in the Woods. And do it like my buddy Vaughn does all the time. So guys, it's been a little while since I recorded this episode, and you can probably skip to about 2 minutes in if you want to see me just play, but I feel like I have a little bit of catching up with you guys to do. First of all, it's been really difficult to record anything else besides Hermitcraft lately, just due to the fact that I kind of started 2 new servers at the same time, and it does take a lot of off-camera, I guess, preparations to be able to assemble episodes and really make things flow. So the majority of my time has been spent both on and off camera on Hermitcraft getting things ready, but I feel like I'm finally to the point to where I don't have to grind so much in order just to make an episode, and I'm getting some help from the other hermits and things like that, so things are shaping off smoothly. In short, I now have time to do Life in the Woods, at least hopefully once a week, but I'll try to get to it as much as possible. I just started Pixelmon as well, so if you guys are familiar with all those series and you keep up with me on there, great. If not, I'm glad you're here for Life in the Woods. It's always a pleasure to record here. It's such a wonderful server, and there's some people on here that I really enjoy playing with that I don't get to play anywhere else with. So my buddy Ruby Sohn has just recently joined, and I haven't seen a whole lot of what he's done, so I'm gonna go exploring a little bit. I do have some good and bad news. The good news is we did move away from the actual hungry version of the pack, which is great. Like, you see how I have 41 fish stacked here? That's awesome. The bad news is my player data was actually corrupt. So I remember I had a Silk Touch pick, and I no longer have it. I do, in fact, however, have my Fortune 3 pick. Thankfully, my player data was partially salvageable from my buddy that actually runs the server, Olmok. And I did get to keep this pick, however, and also my musket, which hasn't really been enchanted, but I did lose all my levels. I don't really remember how much I had. But at any rate, I do have a Silk Touch book that's kind of ready to go. I just need to get a pick so that I can put it on here. Let's see where it's at. Silk Touch. And I still have my printing press and stuff to be able to do with it. The first thing I guess I'll do is go and check my fish traps outside to see if I have any of those books so that it won't be a complete waste. And I need to finish the house, y'all. I still have the second story to go. I want to get a bunch of andesite so I can finish this, and I have a few new ideas to mess around. For those of you that are new to the channel and new to this series, I'm using Sortex Fanfare. It's one of my favorite packs ever, and I don't use it on Hermitcraft and stuff, but I do use it here, and I really enjoy it. It's like the modded version. If you're interested in the pack, I have some information on it in the description below. Let's see. Smite 3, I don't really need that. I'm sorry if you guys can't see. Punch 1, Looting 2, and Fire Aspect 1. So yeah, unfortunately I do not have, oh, I have one more chest to check. Projectile protection. Well, I have no Silk Touch in there, so I'm probably just going to empty those out off camera. But right now what I think I'm gonna do is go into the caves and use my little fortune pick to just mine up some andesite. I've got plenty of coal, so I can actually use that to cook, so that is going to be my thing. But I do want to check out the island a little bit to see what's changed. It's been a little while since I've been here. As soon as I finish the house, I'd like to get off the island. I noticed Vaughn did, and I'm really interested in maybe getting a base outside of here. I really want to get like a garden area going, especially now that the crops are a little bit easier to grow and maintain. I think it would be fun to have like a an arboretum, you know. So Nebris naturally hasn't done anything because he hasn't been on in Lord knows how long. Let's see, the old Badge and them's place is still out there. They're probably doing stuff off-site when they do log on. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh, there seems to be something over there. Wonder if that's Ruby's place. I'm gonna try not to spoil anything for the most part, you guys, but I have a feeling that doing this may spoil a little bit. If it looks like something that's too heavily under construction, I might move away. Let's see. Okay, we got some glass, and what is this? Okay, no, this is Badge's place, and it looks like there... Is this? Yeah? Is this? Yeah, this was Badge and them's place. I don't know why the frames are loading so weird. It's like half of the stuff is going out. Maybe it's due to the fact that I'm using the shaders. I'm not real sure. Let's see. Let's go over here some and see if there's anything different in this area. Oh, what's this? Yeah, this must be Ruby's place. Well, I'm definitely not spoiling anything because all he's got is a little skeleton frame. Ruby sewing, yep. Carpenter's blocks. Well, I do like the frame though. It's looking like it can be a quaint little abode. I should troll him a little bit and just put all kind of extra textures on here, make him a rainbow house. Now, I really got some catching up to do. But it's great to see him on the server. I think Joe's been away at convention a lot this month, so he hasn't had a whole lot of time to build. His house looks relatively the same. Somebody left his doors open. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Maybe he just wants people to feel really welcome in his place, but that may not necessarily be a smart thing. Okay, let's go down into the depths and I'll show you where I was mining andesite. Really, really simple. This place here is almost like a little quarry that Vaughn had started, I believe, for his house. So I'm going to mine up a ton of this andesite, you guys, and when we come back, hopefully I'll have enough that is cooking up to where we can actually get started on the next phase of the house. So stay tuned and I'll be back soon. Man, it is so nice not having to worry about food, y'all. I just went get a ton of andesite without eating any fish. That was like the most amazing feeling in the world. Also, I'm gonna get a little bit repetitive and show you guys around the place some outside of the other builds that I just showed off. My house is relatively simple right now. I have this little underground storage area that I have my furnaces and all my labeled chests in, and I do have my printing press and stuff. Right up here is basically going to be my living room, which I haven't got around to decorating yet, but I really feel like I need to work on my second story before I do any more interior decorating. I did get my kitchen and dining room pretty much finished. I'm happy with the result. It took me a little while to get the kitchen right, and there's still a couple of areas that I need to touch on, like I still haven't fixed this actually, which Vaughn came and tore one day and he broke one of my carpenter blocks. Speaking of carpenter blocks, I am pretty low on them, I believe, and I really need to get some wood. I do have a tree form back here that I'm going to explore, but the outline of the house, first of all, I have all of these are carpenter blocks that are shaped into the iron bar texture and flattened out so that they look good, and I do have the first floor of the house pretty much complete already. This is going to be the extent of the size of it, I believe. This is like a little subdivider. It's a 2-level divider. That way I can do some cool stuff with lighting and redstone. And I'm also going to do probably some windows here and there. I just haven't decided on what style of windows that I want yet. I've kind of just gone by section to see what I get influenced by, and I have a little back section here with a tree form and a weed form, and also a few cactuses that are growing too, just for some dyes. These are carpenter's doors, by the way. That's why they still look like the iron bars. It's a real finished look. I really like it. And actually all of my grass is carpenter's blocks as well, and I have some glowstone mixed in there to where that I don't need to put torches all over my lawn, which I thought was a pretty good idea. Although maybe some grass here and there just to spruce it up would look pretty good. I'm just not too sure yet. I'm gonna worry more about the outside first. This is my little cactus form, and I actually cleared out an entire biome that was full of barley to grow all this wheat, and this was back when we had the hunger mod. But when you take the seeds or wheat and right click on anything that's a carpenter block, pretty much it takes the effect. So just for instance, let me take this wheat into my hand, and I have this wheat and I have the seeds. Now I can take wheat and click on some of my fence. You see how that decorates it? You can do things like thatch with that, and you can also put grass on it too, which makes it pretty I don't know, it makes it pretty unique. But that's what I had got the wheat for at the same, well, for the same reason. So I think I can only shift click this with a hammer to get it off, but I don't really need this. But anyway, wheat used to be harvestable in the Hunger mod just by right clicking, and actually we can't do that anymore, unfortunately. So now I have to just harvest it manually, but not quite ready to do that. Just kind of wanted to show y'all what was up. Did have a mangrove tree. I went on a long quest to get a mangrove tree sapling, and I got a bunch of them actually, but this is like the whitest wood that you can get in the game. So I wanted to do that to make my table and chairs with, and this is my mangrove tree, kind of like a trophy for that. And also, if we ever run out of mangrove, we'll know where to come. And I do have a small tree form back here that I've been using to collect wood. And this isn't the most efficient tree form in the world, but it does do the job. And if I pull out my little coral axe that I got from, I believe it was Oceancraft. Ooh, look, I'm getting achievements all over again. I can go ahead and plow this up to get all the wood that I need for carpenter blocks. So what I'll do, I guess, is form plenty of this, and we'll get some carpenter blocks started, and I'll start framing up the second store of the house when we come back. Look how freaking cool this sunset is, yo, with this shader pack. Everything's like purple and the water's reflective. Some of the stuff looks pretty derpy with the shaders, but some of it looks excellent. Like, the lighting just looks amazing off of the water. And when you look at all the ambience, it's going to get really, really dark right quick. But look at the moon, the rays, how they come through, and all of the, how the lanterns illuminate the the wheat and stuff. It's just like, I really, really love. I forgot how beautiful the shaders were. You can't use them in every single application, but they do look great. Vaughn's house looks great with these shaders too. I'm gonna make a suicide run to show y'all. Well, it won't really be suicide. I'll just make sure I stay careful. I'll go on this backside here, but let me show y'all. I know I'm kind of all over the place this episode, you guys. I just want you. Oh, look, those skeletons right there. But looks Vaughn's house. How cozy that looks at night. Like, you see this in the middle of the night, you're like, man, it's home, it's sanctuary. I don't know, I just thought it looked amazing. Anyway, guys, I've got pretty much almost 3.5 stacks of logs that I can make carpenter's blocks with, and I need to start cooking up some more andesite. I know I cooked 5 stacks earlier, but there's still probably plenty that I'm going to need. So let me go ahead and rest right quick. Thankfully the monsters weren't close enough to really mess with me. And now I can get back. Oh, and there they are dying outside. Let's see. Oh, I have one downstairs. Well, hello. You are not a welcome guest. Will you let me down to get you? Oh my gosh, this guy is so OP. He's gonna break my armor. Okay, musket to the face, dude. That's ridiculous. Jeez, I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. That guy hit me 74 times in a row. Look there. Oh god. Thank gosh for the musket. Okay, so we got plenty of andesite here, and I'm gonna go ahead and start taking these out. Get those, put my cobble in. Yeah, it is really, really nice to be back on this server again, guys. Lots of fun times that I've already had on this server, and many more to come. Do I have any more? Yeah, I suppose I have a few that I can cook in there. So altogether, I got 5 stacks of andesite to start. Now we need to make carpenter blocks. So let's see if I remember how to do this. I want to say carpenter blocks. I do have NEI still installed. So let's see. The regular carpenter block is simple. I do not have permission to use this command. I bet you it's in like creative mode or something. Let's see. Inventory, cheat mode, recipe mode. There we go. Okay, cool. So carpenter blocks is basically sticks surrounded by a piece of acacia wood. No problem. So let's just go ahead and make this, and we'll do 4 stacks of sticks, 8 stacks of sticks. There we go. And then we can actually do that. All right. So we load in the sticks all around just like this, and we should have quite a bit of carpenter blocks for this. Being that it's wood, it's not really expensive, and you get 5 at the same time. Yeah, that's pretty darn good. The bad thing about carpenter blocks is it actually takes these resources plus the actual resource that you're using for it. So for those of you who aren't familiar with carpenter blocks, I'll show you. For those that are familiar with carpenter blocks, I'm sorry I have to put you through this, but I feel like it's a necessity to show off. Okay, So for instance, we are going to use the entire second floor with carpenter blocks because I think it's going to give me a lot more versatility, and I actually may swap out some of the bottom blocks for it. The weird thing with shaders in this pack is that when you use andesite or any other thing on a carpenter's block and you put it next to just the texture without the carpenter's block, it is a different shade. So that's something to consider for the build. What I'll probably do is come straight up like this, and let's just do carpenter blocks right now. So I'll come straight up with this, and for instance, we'll stop the wall height at, am I making noise? Like, is my sound messed up? Let me try to reset my sound just to make sure I don't have nothing wonky happening. This does usually take a while. How about this? That's so weird. Let me just place wood and see. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's the weirdest thing. And I don't even have my hammer on me. This is going to be a pain in the butt without it. I'm going to have to do it. But I kind of just want to show you. So you place the carpenter blocks like so. And then you can texture them any way that you like. So for instance, I'll come down here and I'll say, okay, so I'm going to make all this andesite, right? So now that I have carpenter blocks, I right click on them and it turns into andesite. Pretty cool, huh? And then you can actually add dye if you want to. Now, carpenter's blocks work with all dyes except for one. Yeah, bone meal. So you can't make it white. And naturally, I would like to make it white, but I can't. So I'm going to avoid that for now, just because andesite is the whitest stone that I can currently get, so I'm not mad about it. It is white enough, I would say. So this is 4, and this is 7 up here. It's a little offset, but I think I had it intended on that. I just don't remember really. We do need to bring it up the rest of the height though. I don't think it was supposed to be on the very center. Yeah, because I had the front sitting at the windows. Okay, now I'm kind of remembering. I'm sorry I'm kind of rambling, but I'll get these placed and I'll put the andesite where they go. I'll actually make the perimeter for this. I'll do this all around with the andesite, and then we'll come back and start playing around with some designs for windows at the top and maybe even the bottom too. All right, you guys, I got a lot of progress done here. I took what's it called again? The black granite cobblestone, kind of like I had for this section here, and I just ran with it on the entire length of the ceiling. Now, I'm not positive that I want it like this on the inside, but the good news is with carpenter blocks you can really change the way that looks. So let's take for instance andesite. If I take andesite and just pop it like that, it just creates a tile. So I can cover it technically with whatever I want without messing up the outside of the design, and vice versa. If I want to change the outside to something, like if I use an entire block of this stuff and I just want the top black, I can do that too. So it gives me a lot of versatility. I'm going to just pop that off right quick. I think I could, ooh, not like that. Come off of there. Okay, that's better. All right, so this is a window design that I was trying to come up with. These are carpenter's fences or carpenter's barriers, and you can do some cool things. Like I was trying to come up with a window treatment, but I wanted to know if you guys thought that it looked better all the way down, or if it would be better if it was even with this, because naturally this texture right here kind of breaks up with it, and if I run the texture all the way around, it's almost like it's too busy, and plus it shows from the outside. Technically I can make it just come from the inside, but I thought that this was a good contrast, although I just don't know how it measures up. I might take away the treatment and actually use this the whole block too, although I'm really not sure. I bored it with something else. I don't know. Look, you guys let me know, but I do want to show y'all that if you are not familiar with carpenter blocks, this is a really cool addition too. So I'm gonna take ice. Okay, let's take ice and we'll just place it right here. Now I don't have silk touch anymore, so I have to be very careful with ice placement, but if I place ice all the way in here, it should not have any problems staying translucent, and I can actually add dye to this. So oh, you know what, I didn't make it carpenter blocks. Frack, that messed everything up because I don't have silk touch anymore. Okay guys, we're just gonna have to kind of we're just gonna have to kind of use this instead right now until I get Silk Touch back. I was gonna, and you see this is gonna be a problem because when I break this, yep, it is gonna turn to water, and I do not want that. Let's go ahead and put the andesite down to kill the water. Gosh, man, and this chalk is so brittle. Shoot. Well, it was a good idea when I had it. At any rate, y'all, I think I'm going to call this an episode, honestly. There's not a whole bunch I want to do without going deeper into design. All I wanted is a window. I still don't like the way it freaks out with the textures like that. The bordering may not work. I don't know. You guys let me know. This glass or this ice would look a lot better if it was like this. And basically I used the black dye on this ice to give it this appearance. I can kind of stretch my dyes out too with the water bottles and redstone. If you look at this recipe right here, the ink sacs, to get more ink sacs you can just add water bottles and redstone to these black roses and get 8 ink sacs, and I can find these almost anywhere. So all in all, guys, that's what I'm thinking about. Next time we come back, I'm going to take your thoughts and your comments into consideration and kind of go with this window design and maybe duplicate it a couple of areas, whatever we decide to do. And I'll also play with it off camera to get some ideas about it. I'm gonna transport I already transported the bed up here, but I want to make a carpenter's bed and get a cool little design going on. I talked about a bedroom design that I had shared with Just Fine a while back, and I think I want to implement something like that, but I do need to make an official bedroom. I don't even know if the window placement is right. Maybe it should be on this wall, but I am running out of materials like ice. I do need to get Silk Touch back, so quite a bit of off-camera work left to do. But at any rate, guys, I really appreciate your tuning in today, and as always, I hope you have a very great rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.